Hi guys, welcome back to In Case of Econ Struggles and welcome to another Sunday Stata tip. Today we are going to be going over the basics of running and interpreting regressions in Stata. We're going to use both a simple regression and a multiple regression. We are going to be using this auto data that we've been using for previous Sunday Stata tip videos. And let's go ahead and get into it. So we're first going to do a simple regression of price on miles per gallon. You can see that I've typed out the reg command. You can also type out regress if you want. Let's go ahead and run this simple regression and talk about the output. So what we are going to do today, we are going to go over the basics of Stata regression. So we're going to ignore this top part today. We're going to focus down here on this coefficient part and how to interpret the coefficients that we get. So this coefficient says that the relationship between price and miles per gallon is minus 239. And what does that mean? This means that on average, we expect the relationship between miles per gallon and price to be such that if you take two cars and one car has a miles per gallon of 1 mile per gallon higher than the other car, we expect that the price of that car with the higher miles per gallon would have a price of $239 less. This constant, this CONS stands for constant. This doesn't really have an interpretation because remember, we're fitting a line to the data. So this is the y-intercept of that line. And this interpretation would be that a car with 0 miles per gallon would cost approximately $11,253, which doesn't make any sense. So we don't really interpret this constant. Now, notice that the t-value on this coefficient of miles per gallon is greater than 2 in absolute value. And generally that means it's statistically significant. You can also look at the p-value, which we use 0.01 generally, or 0.001 is even more significant. Now, we did this with just a simple regression on price on miles per gallon. What happens if we add in some more variables? So let's add in whether or not the car is foreign and the weight of the car. We're going to get something very similar in terms of output. But notice that our miles per gallon coefficient has dropped down to 21 and it's positive, as opposed to the minus 238 that we had before. This is not super unexpected because now we are controlling for other aspects of the car. So this coefficient on miles per gallon now says that, okay, I still have two cars and one car still has a miles per gallon of 1 mile per gallon higher than the other car. But now both cars have the same foreign status and the same weight. So now that we're controlling for these other factors, the relationship between miles per gallon and price is positive, and it's also not significant. This t-value, absolute value, is well under 2. This foreign is a 1 or 0 variable. So this just says if I take two cars, same miles per gallon, same weight, but one is foreign and one is domestic, I expect the foreign car to cost about $3,700 more, and that is significant. The weight says that, well, if I take two cars, same miles per gallon, same foreign domestic status, one car is 1 pound heavier, I would expect the car that is 1 pound heavier to cost about $3.50 more than the car that is a pound lighter. So hopefully this makes Stata regressions make a little more sense, as well as the interpretation of the regression output. If this video was helpful, make sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you next week for another Sunday Stata tip here on In Case of Econ Struggles.